コナン・オブライエンさんを一日国営町長に任命したいと思います。
I'm the mayor? Yes! I have a sash for you. You are now Miss Iowa.
Canada Dry's fine. Schweppes is decent, but Gosling's, it's nice too because I like any drink or snack where I can like look at something on the can or the box or the bag. Perhaps.
Yeah. Do they all come with a seal?
I think so. Yeah. Its name is Stormy. It says. You see it?
Okay.
Oh yeah, there you go. Dark and Stormy.
Yeah.
Maybe they're have that copyrighted.
They're in cahoots, if anything.
Well then, today's episode of Rock Hard Caucus is brought to you, of course, by Gosling's Diet Ginger Beer. Endorsed by 2 out of 3 of us. I've never tried it, so I have to abstain.
I haven't tried the
now.
diet version, actually,
so
which is surprising because it's
just 1 out
usually
of 3
drinking diet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
1 out of 3. This is episode 119 of Rock Hard Caucus.
Jesus Christ, 119?
Yes, 119.
There's been that many?
Yeah. Well, you haven't been here for a lot of them.
Oh, did I? Fuck. I've been on assignment. I can't,
Yeah, he's out of the field.
Yeah.
I'm here. My name's Justin. We've got Evan, of course. Evan and I have been holding it down, keeping the machine running for a few months now.
Making sausages.
Yep.
For people who have been with us since the very beginning, you know Chuck, but not everyone may be familiar with Chuck. We did probably gain a few listeners in the past couple of weeks. So everybody, please put your hands together for our good friend, one of the founders of the Rock Hard Caucus, Chuck. Welcome back.
It's nice to be here again. It was really strange because I think the last time that I was on the show, I was trying to look back to see maybe when I last had an appearance, and I want to say it was maybe the Christmas episode, or maybe
I think so. Yeah,
I did like a pre-recorded thing for like the OPAC Fallout shit in like July of last year. I want to say maybe.
Yeah.
I think we had another one since then.
Was that maybe?
I think we had another one. Yeah, with the 3 of us.
Oh, it was the kid that was like the Ben Shapiro kid.
Yeah.
That one.
Johnston High School, I believe.
I think that was like
dork.
Early 2022.
Maybe, yeah. I know that the one that I recorded was like right before my birthday for the OPAC thing, which would have been like mid-July, I want to say. So
yeah, I missed a lot, but I was here for most of it. It just kind of passed right by me.
Sure. But it was weird. Like the Twitter account that I made to like interact with people that like listen to the show or whatever, I got like 20 followers in like a day after the Chapo appearance, and I was like, you guys don't know who I am. Like, what the fuck are you doing? They just like clicking through everyone's ads, being like, oh, we're gonna follow all of them. It's very sweet of you, by the way.
I guess.
So, like, welcome to all my new followers. Here I am.
Yeah, those of you who heard Evan and I on Chapo Trap House and decided to follow everyone involved in the show, whether you had any idea who they were or not, you're my kind of people. So thanks for joining us.
Oh yeah, you guys were great on the show, by the way. So I know I told both of you this like individually. I think even I listened to we've been listening to Chapo for a very long time. And like a lot of the sort of structure that I think that we've taken for our own show kind of comes from there. Like I know you guys have hung out with like Chris and Matt and all those guys, which awesome. And like listening to you guys like at work, like on their Spotify feed was like fucking crazy. You guys did so great. I fucking loved it. I'm proud of both of you guys. I love you guys. Like it was so much fun to listen to that episode and hear you guys do your thing. You guys are fucking naturals. It was great.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thanks.
Next time we'll bring you on with us.
Yeah.
Okay. Only if Felix is there. If Felix is there, I'll go on. That's it.
Yeah.
I do want to talk a little bit about national politics before we there's something more fun, but for now, there was a GOP primary debate this week, which I was boycotting because they excluded my favorite candidate. I'm wearing his hat right now, Perry Johnson. Well, you may not know it's his hat because there's no indication anywhere on it. It just says abolish the FBI. It's my new favorite
You could just
hat.
make hats that say just like fuck the deep state. I think that would go over well.
Yeah.
You'd
It
sell
looks
a lot of
expensive
those
too. How much did you pay for that?
Oh, I paid a whole $1 for this.
$1.
Inflation does not apply in Perry Johnson's world.
It's the world I want to live in.
Yeah, that's why we're voting for him.
He's creating his own economy where everything is $1. Evan, you watched some of the debate, so I wanted to ask you on mic, was there anything surprising or just anything interesting worth repeating on today's show?
Not really. I think we pretty much nailed it with our prediction that Vivek. Vivek rhymes with cake. We've been mispronouncing it.
Vivek?
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
big disrespect from us, but
Sure. Yeah.
everyone at the fair was calling him Vivek, like on stage.
Yeah,
it's not our
yeah.
fault.
Well, yeah, we're not the only ones. We're not the only, we're not the only gringos who are calling him that.
What did you think of his sauce levels? Because I thought
He
he was
was-
off the charts.
He was the most saucy candidate up there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
He was, basically what DeSantis was supposed to be. He basically
yeah.
started out by saying like, I'm the only one up here who is not bought and paid for, which he wouldn't have been able to say if our boy Perry was there. But
Right.
he immediately he got some booze off that. I don't think they addressed the 9/11 thing. I only watched the first like half of the debate really.
Wait, what 9/11 thing is that?
Apparently he was asked about 9/11 and basically started going into like conspiracy mode and then said that he was actually talking about it was like very vague, but he didn't say like they had controlled demolition or anything, but he was like yes, trying to say, oh, actually I was talking about January 6th. And he was like basically saying like there's stuff that the government doesn't tell us.
He's right though. He's right.
Pulling
back the curtain on the deep state.
Controversial statement. The government lies sometimes.
So he was immediately confronting all the other ones, which is weird because otherwise it felt like a very 2012 debate where they're actually talking about like policy positions and stuff and not just about, like it's weird, like post-Trump,
They're trying
pre-Trump
to be
pivot
trying
thing.
to be boring again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And the most interesting thing was the abortion question, which Nikki Haley, they're all like, obviously like, I'm pro-life and, whatever, all their bona fides on that. But there is a surprising number of Republicans distancing themselves from the like federal abortion ban that a lot of conservatives have been calling for. Which was a little interesting to see. I think it's like they're finally adjusting to like the midterms where they got their shit handed to them.
Do you think that's states should be able to choose what they do? Like the Fed is bad.
They definitely were
a lot of that,
coaching it. They were definitely coaching. Like pretty much anyone who were saying that was like, well, Nikki Haley was saying like, there's not going to be 60 votes to get this passed. So it's like not even like we need to. Basically, she was saying we need to like polarize this issue and make it stop making it such a central point of our like Republican politics, which not going to happen.
Yeah, depolarize it because it's hurting us electorally, not because it's for any other reason.
So were they like still like going like all in on gender? Or, like was that a thing still, or like high school sports, yada yada yada?
Yeah, I'm sure it came up. I did not see all of it, like I said, so I don't recall there being a question about that. They did talk about climate change, which is when Vivek said that he's the only one who's not bought and paid for. They also did the thing where like the moderators had absolutely zero control over the debate, so they were like trying to do the thing where they're like raising hands or whatever.
Oh, and God. Like, which has gone well in the past. I'm glad
DeSantis was literally just like waiting to see what Vivek did and then adjusting his answer accordingly. And I don't think any of them raised their hand to say that climate change was real, which is funny because Vivek has said that climate change is real, but it's just not something that we need to. Yeah, it's good. It's great.
One thing I noticed with speaking of like raising hands, Vivek was I did do my research and watched a 2-minute highlight video of the debate. Mm-hmm. And one of the questions they asked was, if Trump is the candidate, will you support him?
Oh yeah.
And like he raised his hand, and then it was like a domino effect, like stage left to right. everyone being like, okay, like Pence.
They did the
everybody.
wave.
They did the wave. They really did, which is pretty funny to kind of like just everyone's like taking their indication from him, which was interesting.
Yeah,
I guess,
no, he's definitely again the only one who's like even close to Trump as far as like his like entertainment, just like entertainment quality wise.
The gravitas, the gift of gab, you know.
Yeah, and DeSantis is just like incredibly rehearsed. He got like pissed off a couple times that it was like just like obvious that it was completely rehearsed and choreographed.
Yeah. I saw a video of him afterwards. I don't know if it was like actually maybe it wasn't afterwards, but maybe before where they were talking to him, and he's like you could see his jaw.
His jaw.
Like, this thing the whole time. Just was it him that Chris Christie called like the Chat GTP candidate or
no? That was fake. That was a good. That was a good. A good like burn because he basically is that he's just like a tech bro. Like it's. Very off-putting. It was funny to see people's reactions, like from the more left-inclined, like being like, "Yeah, this guy's a fucking sociopath. I can't believe that he's even up here." And then it's like, "Yeah, well, most of the people who watched the debate thought he won."
I mean, I thought he won. I mean, what is winning this thing?
But like, that's it's just like he's given GOP electorate what they want, or what
play the hits.
The Trump inclined want. So. It's why are they even doing this? It's just like they should cancel the debates.
I mean, what's not to love about it?
The way the Democrats are canceling the debates.
Yeah, well, they didn't even schedule any. Yeah. I mean, obviously, maybe we should talk about Trump's mugshot since he turned himself in at the Fulton County Jail in Georgia. That's why he wasn't at the debate. He was busy in jail.
You know that jail was formerly featured on terrible reality television show 60 Days In?
I did see that. Yeah. It's a notorious like jail. Like
there was just
a lot of people in Atlanta have been stuck in there, and
it's under federal investigation. And someone apparently died recently from like they were like bitten by like 400,000 bed bugs. It's like pretty horrific. Like,
death by bed bugs.
I don't know if the bed bugs were the like main cause, but
contributing factor.
Horrific neglect and just terrible stuff.
What'd you guys think of his mugshot?
Yeah, I want to make sure we got to that. I did do a Twitter poll on that, and people were very divided on whether Donald Trump looked cool in his mugshot. It was the final results. I think were 51 people voted. No, not 51. Like a 46 or something. It was 51% said yes, he looks cool. 49% no, and it was stuck at a tie almost the whole time. Yeah, so obviously people are very divided on whether Trump's mugshot makes him look good, and I think that he looks cool enough.
Me too.
You know, how do you feel about it?
I did vote. I voted no on the poll. I'm sorry to dissent. I also called it. Right. A lot of thank you. But a lot of people were saying that like he's gonna smile, he's gonna like try to do his presidential portrait. I was like, no he's gonna mean mug for sure.
Absolutely.
And called that. And no, I don't think the mean mug. I mean, if to his fans, it's definitely it's cool. It's very cool for his fans. But I don't think it. It makes him. He's obviously like, and then he goes on Twitter right afterwards and like,
which was awesome. I love that. That was it was great.
It makes him.
What better time to return to X.com than the mugshot?
It was a good night waiting for leaks and seeing various people leak the mugshot without the watermark before it hit the news.
Official, yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, I voted yes. I voted yes.
No. I just basically, I think he looks desperate. He looks like he's at the end of his rope.
No. He looks like he looks like a bird of prey. He looks like an eagle.
He does look like an owl or an eagle.
No, an eagle.
The
bald eagle.
The brows are very pronounced in that photo.
Yes, the American raptor. Just like this aggressive, like hunch forward look. This sharp beak. The intense eyes. Because eagles have like the fucking. Like the brows like this, they're looking right down, right through you. I thought he looked awesome. And I think that, well, I mean, that's fine. Like he didn't. I'm glad he didn't like smile or anything. I guess because I can't think of any pictures he's ever taken where he was smiling with like teeth. I guess like that's not really his thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's like also like a marble statue guy on Twitter thing where it's like if you smile with your teeth, it's called the fear grimace. It means that you're afraid. Blah, 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 blah. But I think that he didn't do himself a disservice in the picture. Like all that can do is make people that already loved him love him even more, and people that were like maybe kind of like half their taint off the fence be like, oh wow, yeah, they're coming after him, like this is the deep state doing their thing or whatever. So I mean the look was perfect for whatever he's trying to achieve, and I don't know if he knows
it
that
doesn't
or not,
matter.
But no, I mean the picture came out pretty good, I think. I'm glad he didn't smile. I would have lost respect for the
I
big
would have
man.
voted yes in the poll if he was doing like a soy face YouTuber thumbnail.
I got arrested in Atlanta. Damn. What did
Prison
you,
guard sucked
Justin?
me off.
What?
Sorry.
What did you? Okay, did you vote in your own poll, Justin?
No, I did not.
What would you have
but
voted for?
I would have voted yes.
Okay. Okay.
I think you said it also the election hinged on whether or not he looked cool in his mugshot or not.
I mean, it might.
The release of that photo was what could have tipped this one way or the other. And I think the way it came out, I'm leaning towards Trump 2024.
I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
Look at the debate. Like who?
My prediction based only off of the photo.
That's all you need anymore, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he really does look like a low-level mobster or like a Batman, like 1960s TV show villain.
Two-face
And
action there.
not one of the like memorable ones either.
One of the financial crimes Batman villains.
Yeah.
Okay, so the debate, I mentioned Perry Johnson was excluded unfairly. He did send me an email about this today that I wanted to make sure we amplify his message, since this is a fully Perry Johnson pilled podcast. Since I bought the hat, I'm on his email list. This is from Perry. Justin, it is evident that the integrity of our party and the democratic process is at risk due to the corrupt RNC chairwoman Ronna Romney McDaniel. This is the first time hearing of this person. But I guess
me too.
she must have some relation to the Romneys, because it's one of her names is Romney.
Mormons, right? They're Mormons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah.
she's probably one of Mitt's daughters then.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Idea.
Or one of his wives, I guess. Is that the thing? Either or.
Could be.
Yeah. And then the text becomes red for the next paragraph.
Oh, no.
So it's
okay.
got some extra weight
Scary,
to it.
Yeah.
Earlier this week, Ronna cheated me and the American people by banning me from the debate stage, even though we met every unreasonable criteria they set. Justin, we secured over 50,000 donors. Raise my hand as one of them.
Yeah.
We were well above 1% in national polling, and we have a strong conservative message. But because I am a political outsider and not a DC elitist, I was disqualified for made-up reasons.
I hate made-up reasons, dude. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when the criteria is poll at least 1% and however many polls, then like, I don't know how onerous that really is.
The bar is kind of low.
Apparently, he did have enough qualifying polls, but they excluded one because it only included voters from like 38 states. So it wasn't like considered a representative national poll.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember the specifics.
I guess that was the
but
justification for it.
He's given interviews where he has complained about how they approved him and then they cut out those polls and then he was booted from the debate, which is I mean, you said before this is all pointless, so why not just let him up there anyway?
Yeah, he's funny, he's cool,
he's cool.
like,
why not have him up there?
He starts screaming and stuff.
Is Doug Burgum?
Doug Burgum.
Who
he
is
was
that?
up there. He's the
Why was
governor
he
of
there,
North
not Barry?
Dakota.
North Dakota.
Yeah, he's got really impressive eyebrows. That's really
He
about
does,
it.
but
That's another brow.
Yeah, I guess that's
And
prominent
he's got
brows.
some decently composed ads. I feel like
Sure.
a lot of these people are just getting paid by like big anti-Trump conservative super PACs, and like that's their main like reason for existing or being even running or whatever.
they can't. I don't see how that will ever work though. Like you can't get like the stink of Trump
No,
out of
because
the
it's
party
the
now.
same
Like,
thing
he's a fucking
the same
freight train.
thing that allowed him to, or helped him win in the first
Yeah.
place, was the fact that there's so many candidates. It's so fractured, and so like any one candidate who's running on anti-Trump or anti-Trump conservative is fractured. Splitting the vote however many ways.
And he has the persecution thing going on too.
Yeah,
like,
it's
they're coming
not.
after
There's
me, they're coming
way
after you,
too
they're coming
strong
after
of
your
a
rights.
like
Yeah.
bond between him and his voters. Then
Yeah, he doesn't need to be at any of the debates. Like it does. Like
no,
I know he wasn't
absolutely
there.
not. He looks
Next
like a
time
weak if he
doesn't do it.
does.
Oh yeah. He only can lose by being on any debate. He doesn't need to do it. He looks better to his base by just abstaining from this completely and not engaging with these people.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at this fake bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
None of these
It's a
people are
charade.
me. Yeah.
The whole party betrayed him.
Well, I wish Perry the best. He says he's going to sue the Republican Party, and he's got this petition going to boot Ronna Romney from a RNC chairwoman position.
Ronna Romney.
Yeah.
She was
So-
an MMA fighter, right? She's in the WWE now.
I think that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
yeah,
tried.
Okay.
She was in a couple of movies, but she was like not very good at acting. So now she's a pro wrestler. Yeah. And also,
Nice.
also was running the Republican Party. I did not know that till today.
Me either.
All right, so off of the national politics thing and on to our own vanity and how excited we are to have reached a larger audience recently. And I was going to check the numbers on this before I jumped in here. But yeah, Evan and I went on a marginally more popular podcast than ours a couple weeks ago called Chapo Trap House. And yes, as of today, Chapo Trap House episode 758, featuring Evan and myself, on SoundCloud alone has 91.8 thousand plays. And
Goddamn.
let's see.
I apologize for having to hear. Also, that's like it's like 1/20th of the population of the state of Iowa.
Yeah, so we're almost got all
Or
of
maybe
them.
1/30th.
Casting a wider net than ever.
And just taking a sample here, so the two episodes we released right before we were on Chapo got a big bump, but to put things in perspective, episode 116, which is the one before that, has 314 plays. So our episode 116. So we went from an audience of about 300 to speaking to 90,000 people, which is a bit different and was sort of a unique opportunity for us. By that, I mean, it's attracted a lot more comments on various internet gathering places,
And
Reddit.
we love comments here.
I'm a comment
Big
reader.
comment guy. Me too.
You got to find out where the people are.
Exactly.
The very representative people
Yep.
in the comments.
I don't
Yeah.
need articles. I don't need anything like that. I just need comment sections.
Yeah, you can really
That's the
divine a
pulse
lot
of the
just,
people.
just based on vibes of comment sections.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
That's like the true predictors. That's a big indicator.
So yeah, Evan and I have received a lot more attention from internet comments than ever before, and I wanted to take the opportunity to talk about some of these comments. So I've pulled these from YouTube, the Chapo Trap House Patreon,
oh god.
Reddit,
Oh,
Something
okay,
Awful.
Cool.
I got a couple from my favorite
Oh, wow.
website.
Throwback.
Yeah. Okay, so let me just read to you a couple comments, starting with the Chapo Patreon. So this guy, his name is Nick, and he said this: any dumbass talking about how nefarious Vanguard is doesn't know what they're talking about. See RFK Jr. So he has a problem with what RFK told us that resonated with us.
That sucks. Thanks for the comment, I guess.
Defending Vanguard, which is why does this person watch Chapo Trap House?
And pay for it too.
Yeah.
Well, this was a free episode, so he may have just jumped in the comments because he got so mad at hearing that.
He's like, I love my self-directed IRA. I love it.
I mean, people started asking him like why he was upset about that, and this was one of his defenses. Vanguard has single-handedly lowered the cost of investing for regular people. The reason they own so much is because they sell really cheap index funds. Granted, any investment firm perpetuates capitalism, but as long as we're in it, they are a net positive force.
That's an interesting one.
That's a like weird hill to stand on in a in a reply to a Chapo episode. I never looked at like the comments for these ever before, but
right, yeah,
that one's I guess those guys are listening too, huh?
Yeah, people listen just to get mad at the lack of nuance.
Couldn't be me.
Yeah. And then this commenter named Don B said, and this is a recurring thing here, these guys are supposed to know politics, but can't even pronounce MAGA.
It's a regional dialect, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I had never thought about this prior to receiving these critical comments, but, you know, Make America Great Again, MAGA, the Trump slogan, it's not supposed to be pronounced MAGA? How do you guys say it? Have you
always said MAGA?
I think so.
MAGA, like a magazine, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know. You might have influenced me to say it otherwise. I don't know. I don't listen to myself talk, but...
I listened back to the Chapo episode, and you said MAGA too, not just me.
Oh, okay. I thought I might have. It's,
I think,
conscious
I think Alan's
or subconscious
a MAGA
influence.
Guy too, I want to say.
But the thing is, it's an acronym, and like, there's no proper way to say it. It's completely dependent on the person. There's no accepted pronunciation of MAGA.
That's a really weird thing to like tape to your keyboard for, though. I think like you're saying this wrong. You're saying MAGA wrong. Okay. Thanks for listening, I guess.
All right, let's shift over to Something Awful, which is not nearly as active as it was 25 years ago.
Yeah, that's really the springboard for our podcast, more so than Chapo.
And I forget which thread I pulled it from, but there are a couple podcast threads that I keep an eye on.
I think it was from the pizza thread in FIAD, right?
Yes. Something Awful user, I say swears online, said, LOL, goons got on Chapo. What's a goon? I don't know what that means.
Well,
I don't know either.
I think we fit the bill.
Is there like, so I guess, is there like a podcast thread on Something Awful or like a podcast subforum where like this got posted, or I guess where do these come from exactly?
There
like any Something Awful comments.
I'm pretty sure that this one is from, there's a subforum called C-Spam, which is sort of like a less regulated politics subforum. And then there's a thread where they talk about politics in there. I think that's where I got this one. And if you are a regular user of that thread and you hear me talking about it, don't get worked up about it. Like. All right, let's go to YouTube for a second. This guy, Wes, he also said MAGA guys, and he spelled it MOGGA. MAGA guys.
MAGA guys. Also upset about the pronunciation, huh?
Yeah. More than one person felt it necessary
so he's talking about
to.
mogging guys, which is like the like physically dominating someone, right?
Like
the meme.
Yeah, it's like an incel thing, like height mogging, you know.
Right.
You know, like butt mogging, I think.
Yeah. There is a woman who did a very funny Twitter post where she was like mogging these Zoomers.
Butt mogged on these Zoomers today.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yeah, I don't remember her name, but that was that post got a lot of traction outside of the sphere in which she wanted it to stay in, I guess, just because of the verbiage, I think. But yeah, MAGAing. It's like if you're more for Trump than somebody else, you're MAGAing somebody, perhaps, you know?
Yeah.
If you're a real Trump train guy, you're MAGAing somebody.
Yeah,
who's maybe,
I can see that.
You know,
they should make it into a verb. You know,
I agree. We can do it right now.
Yep, it's been coined here.
Yep.
YouTube user Sisyphix6131 asked, why Zoomers always naming stuff after gay shit?
Yeah, for real, though.
Because we're gay.
What? So are they?
We're gay Zoomers.
I wonder how old that person is. I wonder if they're younger than we are.
Yeah, that's the thing. I was thinking that a lot too.
Yeah, they have to be.
There's an indicator here. Their profile picture on YouTube is the success kid meme. The kid on the beach that's
okay.
like with his fists like.
Wow.
That,
okay.
The meme that got
They
Steve
might be
King in
older
trouble
than us.
once.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I got a couple from Reddit also. My least
Great.
favorite website.
The real pulse of the people.
Yeah.
Reddit.com.
The most bourgeois website ever created.
Yeah.
Other than the weird pockets where it's like, I've seen like Iowa, I can't remember what it's called, but there's like weird like, I'm doing meth. Like, come meet me for like sexual favors. Like, there's weird parts of Reddit that you can sometimes stumble across.
That part sounds cool.
I'm not a regular user of that one, but
yeah,
sure.
I pulled these from the subreddit Black Wolf feed. So, apologies to our very close friends at Chapo Trap House, but I was looking at the subreddit for the subreddit that's dedicated to pirating your content because that's really the only place where they talk about the show on Reddit anymore. Yeah.
They banned the Donald and Chapo Trap House because they're like pretty much exactly the same.
Two sides of the same coin. Yeah.
Yeah. Horseshoe theory. Reddit subscribes to the horseshoe theory.
Yeah. Okay. Melanoma Max, a Redditor.
Jesus. Okay.
That's a very Reddit name.
Yeah.
His comment was simply Justin Coomer.
That's good.
Oh,
That's good.
Shit. He got your ass. like you're a coomer, like, masturbating and that type of thing.
Yeah.
Which is
no,
strange.
see, as a coomer, Chuck, what do you think of
What do I think of the name Justin Coomer?
Yeah, I mean, well, he's kind of stealing your thunder.
I think I've done that joke probably a dozen times in the last 5 years, I think. I mean, low-hanging fruit is always very sweet. So,
yeah.
I mean, pick it, baby.
It's solid. That's a solid one, I'd say.
It's not bad, yeah. It's funny. I mean, we're all laughing about it right now.
Yeah, we
Say
all
it 100
are.
times. Mm-hmm.
All
You're just
three of
lucky
us
that
think
didn't
it's really
exist when we
funny.
were young. It's like my first name rhymes with a lot of like bad words. So like my name was very easy to parody. Right.
Yeah.
You're lucky Coomer wasn't a thing when we were in high school.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I got Cummer a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
which
true.
is kind of the same joke.
That's actually
Yeah,
an old-fashioned spelling where they spelled come C-O-M-E.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think it's Irish.
That's Irish. Interesting.
This one was interesting. This is also Reddit. It's from Baw Guy. B-A-W Guy.
Baw Guy. Okay.
Yeah. Baw Guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how to take this one. Baw Guy said, it's like the platonic ideal of the most boring kind of Chapo episode, which, frankly, I will take over a bad Rakes episode. Not that there's been one of those in a while. Rakes.
I believe they're referring to the act of stepping on a rake. I'm guessing that they didn't. There's some Felix got too zany or something like that. I don't know. I'm perfectly fine. I'm also fine with that because, like, it's not like we were going there to talk about like serious politics stuff. We were talking about the Iowa State Fair. It's like it's a slice of life episode,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So that's fair.
They did say platonic ideal, which is kind of a compliment, right?
That is kind of a compliment.
We're
And I
the
think
best at being boring.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm perfectly fine being boring.
I don't think you guys are boring. Come on.
Well, thank you.
I mean, we did get on comedy podcast, so
very true. I bet that guy never has. So
that's right.
score one for Rock Hard Caucus, 0 for Baw Guy.
Baw Guy. Yeah, Baw Guy. Jumping back to YouTube, this is from somebody named Kieran. Kieran said, Iowa blows, state fairs blow, corn dogs blow, and the American electoral system especially blows.
There's a couple of good points in there, I guess, but
corn dogs are catching strays there. Like, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, for real.
Like, all the other stuff I might be inclined to agree with, but then you're throwing corn dogs? Like, Come on,
This
man.
man's just like punching into the darkness. He's upset about something else, and that's coming into your appearance on
it's
Chapo.
not like you
This
want to eat
guy's-
corn dogs every day, but
No.
when you're at the
No, it's-
fair,
Right. Exactly. When in Rome.
Chuck, I thought you might enjoy this reply to that very negative comment. This is from CNY Knife Nut.
Okay. It might be me, actually. What is it?
And the Knife Nut replied, "Sounds fun. Where do I sign up?" just deflating somebody who's like
Exactly,
super
yes.
angry for no reason.
That guy's after my own heart.
Reddit is also the number one site for complaining about things. So
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Especially shit that just doesn't fucking matter whatsoever.
right.
Like, it's just like so inconsequential.
That one was YouTube, by the way. I know I'm like bouncing back and forth, but this one is Reddit. This is Spacewalk. The Redditor Spacewalk said, "This feels like an Idiot Abroad episode."
Great show, by the way. Very
Yeah.
good show.
Yeah, what's wrong with
that's
that?
A compliment,
That's
honestly.
yeah. What's wrong
being
with
compared
that?
to Carl Pilkington is like a great
Oh, yeah.
I
honor.
love it.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah! So like I was rewatching that show recently, and I don't remember if it was the first, the second season, but he goes to India. Actually, it was probably the first season. 'Cause the first season's like the Seven Wonders of the World, right?
Right.
I want to say.
Mhm.
I think that's right.
And
Yeah.
They send him to India and they have him like meet these different like babas that are out there, like these like spiritual like holy men or whatever, and they all have like a different means in which they sort of connect with people and connect with like a higher power or whatever. And one of the guys is like a naked yogi, right?
Mhm.
And they, if you watch like the original broadcast of it, this dude is like putting his legs back behind his head and just like showing his like asshole and his nutsack to the camera the whole time. Like the entire interaction that Carl has with this guy is just this dude's butthole. He's just like
And that's pretty much what the Iowa State Fair is like.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So thank you for the compliment, sir. Thank you.
Jumping over to a different subreddit. This is from R Iowa, which is I believe Evan, you keep up with R Iowa pretty well, right?
Yeah, I do, unfortunately. Just because, just again to monitor what's happening,
Sure.
not on the ground, but across the wires, the tubes.
Sure, yeah. See what really matters to the common man, the common Redditor.
The people who have so much free time that they're posting on Reddit about the Chapo Trap House episode they just listened to.
Well, this is again from R Iowa. User Mnemonic187 posted this. This is like a new subject, a new post.
Okay.
Anyone else get sick after going to the fair? Fever and crazy diarrhea?
You did the fair right, if that's the case.
I don't
You
think we
indulged,
mentioned
you ate the
anything
treats.
that we ate, like in any of the episodes
You guys
that we
did? No,
recorded.
I was
sorry.
listening for that. I didn't hear anything about food. I don't think. The butter cow came up obviously, but what all did you guys get to indulge in at the fair, food wise? Because I'm a big fair guy. Like I go to the fair every year.
Mhm.
I missed it this year, unfortunately. It was a little hot the day that I was able to go. It was the last day of the fair, which like fucking sucks. Like you don't go on the very last day, especially when it's 95 degrees outside. No one's there. All the good shit's packed up and left. What did you guys eat while you were there?
You're probably gonna be disappointed. I mean, I had lemonade. We got corn dogs on the first day.
Classic. Gotta get the lemonade.
We got some of those apple egg rolls, which I
Those are good.
like. Comes with the caramel dipping sauce.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
On the second day, I got there was like a combination between a Reuben and like a Philly cheesesteak, basically. And it was like on a hoagie bun with like Philly cheesesteak, but then it had sauerkraut and like sauce, which is basically like the white cheese sauce combined with Thousand Island on it. And it's pretty good.
Did you get that from like it's like a standalone like cart? It has like
It's
like po' boys and stuff, or
no? It's a pickle dogs cart. So like
Pickle
they
dogs,
have it's like pickle wrapped in pastrami with cream cheese and then fried with sauce.
I've had that. I've had the pastrami
those,
wrap pickle
those are
before
pretty
there.
popular. Honestly, it was really crowded on Saturday, so I was looking for like when we had stuff that we were trying to catch. So I was going for a short line basically.
Yep.
And it was satisfying.
You were working. You gotta stick to the
I
itinerary.
had a good peach milkshake.
Nice.
Yeah. Other than that, Natalie and I went to some taco thing. I forget what it was called.
Was it the place with, like, the big metal sombrero on the roof?
No.
No.
I got there. It was like I think they called it fajita pita. So it was like a pita bread with some fajita shit on top of it, and it was not very good. It was.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had one of Natalie's fried pickles also.
Oh yeah, I had one of those. I think
Those were good.
I seem to remember eating that. The whole thing is a blur now.
Yeah.
We also disappointed the Chapo guys by not drinking any 27-degree beer.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say something about that, but
it was too hot.
It's too
for
hot.
me.
It's perfect weather for it.
I mean, it is, but I was more worried about, like, if I am, like, out and about like that and it's really hot, I, like, fucks my stomach up if I drink a beer.
Sure.
So I wasn't feeling it. But the lemonade was good. Get the lemonade shake-ups.
The lemonade's always good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got to get the lemonade shake-up. That's a lot better than most of the other booths.
I usually start my day at the fair with one of those 27-degree beers. And then they have, like, the Iowa, like, craft beer trailer or whatever. I'm sure you guys probably saw that while you're walking around, maybe. But they have, like, a couple of trailers they pull up, and, like, they just tap the sides of it or whatever. And they sell tokens for everything. And, like, if you manage to, like, you know, tap the keg out, they give you a free T-shirt, and, like, the siren goes off, and they're like, they take a megaphone, like, "Hey, everybody, this guy just drank the last beer out of here, and this guy gets a free shirt." That's always fun. But I hope next year when you guys go, hopefully I'm able to join you next time around. But
for sure.
There's a couple barbecue carts that are like,
what you smoking?
Oh yeah. There's that.
I wanted to go there.
I
missed that.
There's this Euro stand that's like near one of the exits that is owned by like this Greek family, and they've got the whole setup. They're slicing lamb right down to the grill, you know, frying it up. You know, they got their own tzatziki sauce they make. It's really, really good. That's a must hit. Yeah, dude, the fair owns 100%. The food, the animals, the entertainment. What's not to love?
I got one more Reddit comment that I want to talk about. This is from Black Wolf Feed, but it's the comments on the episode following our appearance on Chapo Trap House. This is from Redditor Bile Weeping.
Bile Weeping. Okay.
Bile Weeping. Yes. And I'll preface this by saying that when I screenshotted this, it had been downvoted to -32.
So he's speaking the truth. Is what's going on here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And again, this is referring to our episode. Okay. So he says,
sure.
That last episode might have been the quickest I turned a Chapo off since the trans comedy duo collab. They better not shit the bed this ep.
Well, I'm sorry that this person was let down. That's too bad, I guess.
Yeah, so they're referring to the Girl God episode of Chapo, which I gather is very controversial among internet commenters.
Mm-hmm. Apparently.
Also, friends of our show, they appeared and they talked with Stella and I a few months ago before they did their live show in Iowa City.
Yeah, that was a fun episode. Yeah, they're fun. I like them.
Yeah, so Bile Weeping has bad taste, dislikes both us and Girl God. So,
and unfortunately, Reddit wants to suppress opinions from the other side, I guess.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
they couldn't use their real name.
No, too scary in this environment, this climate.
Yeah, so I just want to thank everybody who left mean, critical comments of us in various public squares around the World Wide Web.
It's very hurtful. Please stop doing it. We can't handle that. So if there's anything bad you have to say about the show or anyone on it, please don't do that.
And if you
it
do,
hurts us a lot.
If you have to, then send it to Chuck.
Yeah, send it to me. My DMs are open.
Because he's the best at dealing with it.
I am, yeah.
Of all of us.
Professional.
So.
No, I really do. I do find it fun. I like seeing people get upset that one episode of this 800 episode podcast was not to their taste.
It's fucking crazy. Like, just thinking about how this thing started to like where it's at now. It's wild to kind of like scoot back a little bit and kind of examine, like just having this shotgun spread of a reach all of a sudden with people.
Yeah,
and
it's
like
funny.
taking all this like extra fun flack from people. It's pretty fucking dope. Like I said when we started, like it's so cool. Like I loved it so much.
And overall, it was overall a very positive reception. But we hardly get any comments ever, so it's very fun to just look at what makes people upset. Yeah,
we've literally been soliciting hater comments for like
4 years now.
Like
since
we've
the
always
beginning,
asked and we don't get any.
Yeah,
which is like, I mean, we get some, but not. I thought we would get more.
None are any good. It's just farting into the wind.
Yeah, we're not controversial enough.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
I'm always couching my takes. I got to start just letting it rip.
I should come back on the show more, I think is what needs to happen.
Yeah.
It's like do zero research about what we're angry at and just not angry at, but what we're annoyed by, and then come and be annoyed for like very superficial reasons. Seems to be the key, right?
Yeah, political resentments.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's all the rage.
Well, that's a good transition into what I want to cover next. We do like negative critical comments, but you can take it a step further and you can call us and just speak your piece at us. We have a phone number, 319-849-8733. And I also recently, you know how people will like spell words in their phone numbers to make them more memorable? I figured one of those out for us. So 319-TI98-P. Okay.
Well, it's TI-89.
But it's TI-98 for this.
Okay. There might be a TI-98.
I think there may be, but think about a calculator, TI-98, and then think
of a TI-89, then flip the digits around,
and then
then add the P because it's plus, because there's a TI-89 plus, right? Or is that TI-93?
I didn't do well in school. I don't know.
It's been a long time ago.
But the point is, this will make the phone number more memorable. 319-TI98-P. And that's P-E-E, like P from your urethra.
Like pee-pee.
Yes. Not just the letter
easy
P,
to remember.
but urine. But not urine. P. P-E-E. 319-TI98-P. And,
all right.
Yeah, let's listen to some phone calls that we've received. We talked a bit briefly about how it's been a while since Chuck has been here recording with us, but last time, or like a year ago or something, Chuck said that he would like people to call in and ask him for advice. So somebody did that on January 20th, 2023, and
oh god, I've been busy. I'm sorry. I have many clients. It's I want to make time for everybody though, so it's better late than never. So
yeah. Well, let's
have a seat. By the way,
this is someone soliciting advice from Chuck here from 7 months ago. So hopefully this will still be relevant to your life, caller.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead.
Hey guys, this is a friend of yours, friend of the show. What's up? So I need some advice from Chuck. Chuck, I've been work from home here in Des Moines since the pandemic started, and headquarters is out in DC. And so basically I just like work from home here, and I'm at my apartment like basically 24/7 unless I have somewhere to go, which especially during the winter is not true. What do I do, man? Should I get a new job? I feel like I'm going insane here. All I do is play like frickin' isometric RPGs on my computer and everything else that you do when you have infinite time to yourself at home. So what do I do, man? I'm going crazy. Thanks, Chuck. Bye, guys.
I like the specificity of isometric RPGs.
Yeah, me too. So first of all, thanks for calling. I guess my question is, I wish I had more details here about you. I'd like to know maybe how old you are, that type of thing. Which it's kind of moot at this point. So, you're working from home. You have all this free time. You don't have to go anywhere. You're playing video games you like all day. Are you asking me for like what game to play next, I guess? Or because this sounds fucking awesome. Like This sounds like a great setup. This is hard for me to sort of relate to personally. I have to get up and like force feed myself and like shit quickly and like get dressed and like fly into my job, and I'm there for however amount of time every single day. So, I mean, it's hard for me to sort of, I guess, connect with you on a personal level, but I do understand that, having this sort of almost infinite free time where you're able to be in a comfortable space, you're able to do what you want, sort of when you want to do it. But, I see this sort of like you're maybe stuck in this loop of almost not having enough shit in your life.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like gaming owns. Yeah, structureless. Like gaming owns. Sitting at home owns. Doing what you want sort of owns. I've never had a work from home job before, so it's hard for me to, like I said, sort of understand this. But you seem maybe tired of the loop that you're in. You mentioned maybe getting a new job, and I'm curious as to what you think that would solve. When you say get a new job, do you mean like something where you're like going back into the office and you're like interacting with people again? You're potentially, as much as work sucks, you can meet friends at work, or you can meet people that have like a common interest and maybe find some things to do with them. You mentioned, the isometric RPGs. Maybe you like tabletop games. There's plenty of. You live in Des Moines. There's a lot of people in Des Moines. There's maybe groups that you can meet up with to do something like that in person. But I guess I'm kind of confused too, because there was no real exact question. It was more like, what do I do? So like, what do you do in terms of, do I get a new job, or what do I do? Like, are you trying to like make new friends?
I think that's kind of what it was. I think sort of a loneliness. Yeah.
I'm going to assume you're in your maybe mid to late 20s, maybe early 30s, which, as everybody knows, it can be more difficult to make friends as you get older. Mm-hmm. And it gets even harder if you have ended up in this position where you're sort of isolating yourself through work and through your hobbies. So I guess I want to kind of pitch this to you guys, because you guys have had, during the pandemic, you guys were either working from home like 100%, or you were sort of not having to work and getting to like hang out and like do your thing for a while. So I want to know what you guys think before I continue here.
Well,
go ahead, either one of you.
Yeah. I also work from home, and I also, it was a struggle to adapt to that. Just being literally at the same computer screen for like hours of the day. Like I'd work 8 hours and I would be at the same chair for like another 4 or 5 hours.
Home becomes work. I mean, the space in which you like would sit and hang out and enjoy yourself becomes a job also.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think there's value in that. I don't know that that's not always feasible for anyone, but more generally, like as far as the loneliness thing, what has helped me in my life is I am like a socially reticent person, and I understand that, like not everyone's like that. Sounds like this person might be kind of like that. And so for me, it was like, I used to say no to things a lot, but like my thing now is like, if I get an opportunity and I'm like nervous about it, just say yes. And it's like almost always better. Like I never expected I would have been on a podcast, let alone one that's been like relatively successful. Like I'm not that.
You're on fucking Chapo, dude.
I know. Yeah. Like I'm not that kind of person. I'm not like a self-promoter. But like when you guys approached me and were like, hey, like we think it'd be fun to do a podcast, and like Chuck, I think you might have chosen me to. Chuck basically is like
the director
of person. Yeah, he's an HR department. So I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, what's the worst that can happen? I get like fired I get canceled.
Sure. So based off of that,
anyway, just
what's your advice? What's your advice to our caller, based off of your own experience?
Just seize opportunities as they come to you. If anyone I mean, all the stuff that you said is good advice too, I think, but I know it's kind of generic, but yeah, I just like if someone shows an interest in something that you have going on, then like I would say try to pursue that, pursue the opportunities as they
I
arise.
like that. Absolutely. Justin, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking about this. I'm trying to think about this from my own perspective. And I often feel like I am drawn to two opposite poles. There's a Justin that just wants to never leave this house, keep the curtains drawn, and play isometric RPGs on this computer. And then there's the Justin who's like a musician trying to play live shows all the time and like trying to I want attention also.
Right. And you and I are very similar in that way where like we have like it's a great way to both like recharge and like supercharge your batteries per se.
Yeah.
We need to have like our alone time. We're like doing our thing, what we enjoy alone, but you can't have that be everything, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a sort of, there's a balance. And like, I mean, I think this person, we don't know their full history, but they may have gotten this work from home job as a result of the pandemic. And that was obviously...
They did mention
did he say
it started
that? Okay.
during the pandemic. Yeah. So this is, I mean, we got this message, in like January? Is that what you said?
January,
so it's been
yeah.
a good 7 months. So
Things-
they've been
things
doing this
have-
for about 2 years maybe,
Yeah,
right?
things have hopefully gotten a bit better in the intervening 7 months for you. But
I would hope so, yes. Hopefully you're not dead. Hopefully you're hearing this.
Yeah, I mean, that was a mass isolating event for a lot of people.
It was.
And
Right.
it became difficult to sort of rebuild a social life. But Evan's advice is good. Basically, if somebody asks you to do something, or you just even see like an advertisement for something you might be interested in, maybe, people aren't directly inviting you to things, but you'll probably become aware of events that are happening outside of your apartment that you think you may enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
You should force yourself to take opportunities to get out of your comfort zone and
Absolutely.
try to have fun. Yeah.
Absolutely.
With
I couldn't
other
have said it better
people.
myself.
You
Couldn't
can have
said it
fun
better
alone
myself.
too, but obviously
You
you
can,
don't
yeah.
you don't have a problem with that. You've been doing that. So
Yep. So it sounds like find the balance. I mean, you know what you like to do when you have time to do something. There's nothing wrong at all with sort of hanging out, doing your thing, gaming. I love it. So a little, I'm going to relate to my own life here. So, when COVID hit, well, I guess when the lockdown started happening, I was heading home from work one afternoon and I was listening to the local sports, radio show, and they had like a breaking news from ESPN thing about how, the NBA season's canceled, right? And I was like, oh fuck. So like that's always what I remember as like this sort of moment of, things are really going to change here in a second. But I also felt this like sort of sinking feeling, without getting too much into what I do for a living, that, what I do is not going to change whatsoever. Like this is like everyone else is going to go over here to this planet, and like I'm going to stay right here. You know what I mean? Like my life is not going to change. It's just going to suck more. Like it's not going to get better. So I'm glad that you guys are here. I mean, you guys are going to be here anyways, but we sort of saw this from both sides. So I think that's why I say to you, like, it sounds like it fucking owns what you're doing right now. Like I would love nothing more than to like get up and like kind of have to like half do my job, like I have to leave my house per se. Like I'm not trying to like, I don't know exactly what you do. So I don't mean to sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? I don't mean to like diminish what your responsibility may be or like what your work expects of you or whatever. But it's hard for me because like I was sort of like the canary in the mine shaft with COVID. So like I kind of stayed out there and I was like, well, whatever happens to these people, we're kind of use those people as our barometer of like how muddy this water is. We're going to use these guys as our weather vane. Like how fast is the wind blowing? Like how hard is the wind blowing? So I think that, I think it's fantastic advice from both of you guys for this person. I think that, stepping out of your comfort zone is going to be important because it sounds like you've gotten a little too comfortable. Like if I'm going to give you some tough love here, you've gotten very set in what you're doing. And once you get very comfortable in doing something, the more comfortable you are, the harder it is to break that cycle. So I think that if there's things that you're into that aren't, as your example, these isometric RPGs, which are great, by the way. I'm playing Disco Elysium again myself, which isn't isometric, I don't think, because the camera kind of moves a little bit. Is that what it is? Isometric is like a fixed camera and like you're running around like
It's like false perception of 3D,
false
where
perception.
it's like
Fallout
like
1
a-
and 2.
like
Fallout
diagonal.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fallout 2 owns. That was So yeah, I mean, step outside your comfort zone. If there's maybe something that you've taken a passing interest in that you think could be something that could be a new hobby for you, or maybe you could meet more people through, like, go to live shows. You like music, go to a show. From my own life, like my thing was, I was very much sort of just like hanging out at home and not doing anything. And then I found disc golf, and I was like, well, this is fun, and that got me out, and I met all these new people, and I still enjoy all my old hobbies, but I've got this new thing now where I've met these new friends, and I have this new sort of like catalyst in which to meet people and go out and like have a good one, one might say. So, yeah, just
with the boys.
With the boys, yeah, get out with the boys. Like, whatever just if there's something that seems a little interesting, go for it.
Yeah.
Don't. If I'm going to be brutally honest here, if you're what you're doing right now, you can keep doing that for the rest of your life. Like, you can do that forever. You can work from home forever. You can, play video games forever. And if you're happy doing that, then go ahead. But it sounds like you want a little more. You want to sort of break out of the space that you're in. And the only way that you can do that, I think, is what Justin and Evan are saying is, if there's something that's kind of got this little crack, just fucking go for it, man. Go for it.
Yeah,
I love you.
and
Thank you for calling.
Yeah. Yeah. All that.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's hard to dig out of a rut. I've put myself in a bad hole in my 20s that I've recently turned around, and it's tough, but yeah, you just got to start making
You do.
whatever efforts you can to turn it around. It doesn't have to be all at once. It's never you're not going to have there's no like easy epiphanies that you're going to have.
Yeah.
There's a whole world out there, baby. Go out there and get into it. If you want to play disc golf, hit me up on Twitter. Yeah. I don't know who you are exactly, but you might know who I am. Just follow me, send me a message. You're in Des Moines. Is that what the caller said?
Yeah, they said Des Moines. Yeah.
Yeah, hit me up. I'll take you out. Why not? It could be fun.
All right.
Yeah.
Might get along.
Yeah.
You sound cool. I mean, fuck. Maybe we could be pals.
Yeah. We went pretty deep on that one. But I think we should also just say that the three of us and our circle of people, I think we have all had these sort of shut-in tendencies, and we sort of been there together, and like the three of us for most of our relationship together have been like online friends.
Pretty much, yeah.
So we've been in places like that. So it's possible to sort of broaden your horizons and lift each other out of that hole a little bit.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's listen to this one, which we can probably get through a bit faster. Evan, you remember that guy who called in and got like angry at us?
The guy who's talking about Obama, or different guy?
Yes, I think he was the Obama guy. But anyway, I think this is him again.
Okay.
Hey, Rock Solid Podcast. Bingo Bob Russell
Christ.
here. I got a question for you. You guys have been talking about all these Republican candidates, and this is a legit question, okay? I want to know, if you were forced to pick one that maybe, based on a percentage, how much do you agree with the current field of Republican candidates? All right? Which one would you choose? Now, I know I got one. I got one that I agree with about 10% of the time. I added it up. It's about 10% of the time. And that's about 10% more than I agree with
Donald
any
Trump.
of the other Republicans. So I want to know what you guys think. And don't answer ironically. Don't say Doug Burgum because he killed Uranus or something asinine like that, all right? Let's show a little reverence to my request, and also to the local Emperor Uranus. He was a visionary. God rest his soul. 30th anniversary of his death at the hands of that asshole Doug Burgum. All right? So, but legit, just answer the question for me, okay? This is Bingo Bob Russell. Signing out. I like your moxie, kids. You guys are doing a good job. I think you're going to go
He's almost done.
I think this whole pod video show is going to take off.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for calling.
It's the damn question.
Yep. All right. Sounds good.
No, this guy rocks.
He does rock. So is this guy for real, or is this guy doing a
Yeah, no, I
bit?
think is.
You think?
Maybe a bit of both.
There's a couple things I can address. He called himself Bingo Bob Russell, which I Googled because I didn't know what the hell he was talking about. That is the name of Gary Cole's character on the show West Wing, so that's probably what that's a reference to.
Okay.
I like Gary Cole in like Office Space, so there's something I like about that.
Okay.
And then he was making like Burzum Varg jokes because Varg killed that guy that was in a band with him or whatever.
Yeah, he ate him, I think, too. Or at least some of him.
Damn.
But yeah, the question was, is there a Republican candidate that we agree with the most out of all the field? And if we could put a percentage on it, that would require me to be paying attention on a policy level to all of these people and being able to differentiate them in that way.
You're asking too much.
Ron Paul.
That's what you're doing. Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, Ron Paul.
Well, he's not running this year, so
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Rand isn't either. Damn.
Yeah, obviously I said this before, my favorite one is Perry Johnson. I think Evan agrees. And Chuck?
As far as entertainment, just because he's funny, like...
I'm the least like attached to whatever's going on. Like I have no fucking idea what's going on. One of the reasons I'm not on the show very much is because I don't look to see what's happening ever. I'm just like hanging out and like having a good one.
Yeah.
Sometimes a bad one, but usually a good one. And I just I don't look at any of these types of things. So at a surface level, this Perry seems cool. I mean, Trump is hilarious. I don't pay attention to policy or anything because, as far as I'm concerned, I'm just sort of I'm a simple guy. They're all basically the same to me. Yeah. So like whoever's the funniest, whoever I get to see the funnier tweets about, because he was I'm sorry, was it Vivek or how was I supposed to pronounce it?
It's Vivek, I guess.
Vivek was rapping at the state fair, right?
Yeah, he certainly was.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He was rapping along to
Lose Yourself.
Eminem's Lose Yourself. Yes,
Yep.
from it was in the movie 8 Mile.
Yeah.
Or at least like the featured sort of promotional track for it. So that's cool. I agree with that policy. So yeah, him. I guess if that answers your question. I mean, you can't ask someone like me to answer a question with zero irony. It's just not possible.
Yeah.
Especially when I'm as like removed from where the fuck is going on as I am. So.
Yeah.
Yes, I like the rapper. The rapper candidate is my favorite one.
Yeah, and he's like the worst in terms of policy. So that's that's the trap there.
Even funnier. Yes, great.
Yeah. I mean, from what the thing is, these people are all advocating the same policy slate.
Just different flavors of the same
they're all
policy.
just trying to sell it in different ways.
My unironic answer would probably be Chris Christie, honestly.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I would say. I mean, not even based on anything personality, but like
cooked at the debate a little bit, didn't he?
Well, he's like the only one who's like really like going into any effort to like attack Trump at all.
Well,
sure.
and he has the most moderate background,
and that's really why I would choose him. Is just because he like is a fucking asshole and like ridiculous, but he he's like been pro like. Or he's like, I don't know if he's pro-choice, but
I think he has governed that way. When he was the governor of New Jersey, he was pretty much forced to, govern a state that is not so right-wing, and so a lot of his political history is being a fairly middle-of-the-road type of politician.
Yeah,
more on the state level. He was, pro-choice.
Yeah, but I mean that's a tough one. Like it's not like I'm a big fan or anything.
Yeah.
I would almost say Nikki Haley, but she's also a fucking nut, and like it's kind of disturbing. It's showing me that like like the way the Republican Party has moved right, that people are like treating her like, I'm sorry, Laura Bellin. There is a really bad Bleeding Heart article that was like talking about Nikki Haley and how she's like positioning herself for the future, so that if the whole Trump thing falls through, then she would be like, "I told you so," or whatever. It's like it's not going to play out like that. I'm sorry.
She's not the future. She is the past of the Republican Party,
and she's like talking about like the Florida Don't Say Gay bill doesn't go far enough.
The Don't Say Gay
she's
bill.
like, and her connection to Trump, and she's also someone who would said that they would pardon Trump, if he was convicted.
Sure.
So
these are like they're setting themselves up for like after his second term. Like
supposedly, but like I said, it's like it's like 2012 era where they're like trying to like talk about like actual policy issues, or like, oh, like maybe we should back off the abortion issue. It's like that's just not what's viable in the party right now. It's not going to happen.
Let me talk about Perry again for a second and try to put a percentage on, as the caller asked us to.
Okay.
So Perry's policy is cutting government spending by 2% every year. That's basically the only thing he's really talking about. So that gets a 0% from me. But he is selling a hat that says abolish the FBI.
He is.
Which gets a 100% from me. And his message to voters is enjoy life, which also gets a 100 from me. So
yes, sir.
I guess if I were to average those three positions out, that means I agree with Perry Johnson 66.6 repeating percent of the time. So there's your percentage, caller.
To the nth percentile.
Yeah. And also the enjoy life, we didn't mention it. That's like he ends his speeches by saying enjoy life. That's also advice for our last caller.
Yes. Yes.
It
that
is.
works.
So,
retroactively.
So, enjoy life. That's really all there is
Just roll
to
it all together. It's perfect.
It's a simple message. Yeah. Last voicemail. This is from an old friend of ours.
Okay.
Hello, Brock Connors. Are you there? Can you hear me? Is anyone there?
Yep.
It's your favorite co-host and the only Democrat in Iowa, State Auditor Rob Sand. I can only pray that you're receiving this message. I know it sounds impossible, but I'm still at the state fair. It ended days ago, but I can't leave Rock Herders. Every time I head towards the exit, it just gets further away. The rides are still going, and the food is still getting made, but there's no one else here. I'm alone, my fellow podcasters. I currently have built a shelter for myself by the grandstand out of leftover DeSantis merchandise. I tried to find a way out on a livestock pavilion today, but the animals are still in their pens. The noises they're making aren't the usual boos and oinks my audiophile friends. They're starting to sound like people. People I once knew. People who should be long dead. They're calling my name. I think I'm being pursued. I'll call back. Toodles!
Even in these dire circumstances, he still signs off with toodles.
Toodles, Rob.
Jesus.
Hope you get out.
Yeah, that call came through on the 22nd, and he has not called back yet, though he said he would at the end. So I don't know what may have happened after that. It sounds like Rob may have fallen into like an alternate dimension or something. He's like ascended or perhaps descended to another plane of reality. So he's seeing.
Oh man.
The next layer of hell.
Yeah, the geography remains the same. All of the landmarks are still present, but every other human being has disappeared from his vision. Yeah, it sounds like a real fucked up scenario, Mr. Sand.
Yeah.
Speaking of Rob Sand at the fair, I saw him post that basically he had extra tickets to the Black Keys concert at the fairgrounds.
I heard it was pretty good, by the way.
Yeah.
You know
what that particular show, or
yeah, I heard it was all right. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean they're fine. But he, other than their drummer, has done some things. is canceled. But
oh no, okay, never mind. It was bad.
No, I'm
changed my mind.
The show sucked.
I'm not
actually.
kidding. He did send you some
it's
stuff.
bad.
It's the most Rob Sand. It's kind of probably like the hippest quote unquote band that was at the fairgrounds.
Sure.
So it makes sense that Rob would go. But anyway, he posted about that he had extra tickets, and then someone messaged him about it and asked him. He like posted the screenshots of the text messages where he was like, "Oh no, it's all good. I'm going to give them to you for free," because they're like asking how much it was. And then of course he did like the selfie with all the people that he brought. And like, Rob, if you want to call back and let us know, did you intentionally buy those extra tickets just so you could have a cool, heartwarming fair story, or did you genuinely
Not our auditor,
buy? No. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm skeptical of Rob, so I would like to hear.
You're skeptical of Rob Sand?
Yeah, I want to know if this is an engineered thing or if he really like who are you planning to invite that couldn't come?
Yeah,
it is funnier to
Rob.
think about him like having people bail on him to see the Black Keys at State Fair. Like, that's a lot funnier to like imagine, you know. But
yeah, either way, it's a win-win. Either option is funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just thought it was funny. He's like posting the screenshots like, "Oh no, it's all good. Like they're free. They're on the house."
Yeah, they're free. As long as you take a selfie with me once you get here.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, if you would like to call us again, the number is 319-849-8733, or you can remember this handy 319 TI-98P, if that helps you remember. I'm sure it will.
A numeric device.
Yeah,
to
yeah.
do so.
Yeah,
put that in the show description.
Yeah. I'll put both numbers there. If you want to take it a step further and mail us something in the via U.S. Postal Service, I have a P.O. Box 5336 in Coralville, Iowa, zip code 52241. We have not really talked about this guy, but I wanted to plug this thing that's happening Tuesday night. I mean, we haven't talked about him in a little bit, but
Joseph Dobrian?
No, not Joe. We've been talking about him all the time, pretty frequently, actually.
Sorry, it's been a while. Yeah. Okay.
No, our friend Tyler Granger, author of Iowa Trouble,
Nice.
The only book in print that we are aware of that has the words Rock Hard Caucus in it. He was in some legal trouble, which I don't really want to get into on the show because I don't want to like really drag him through the mud for this shit, though it is funny. He stole somebody's phone and
allegedly.
It happens. It happens. I've done it. You've done it. You know, whatever.
Yeah. Well, the guy whose phone he allegedly stole is friends with people who used to be on the show Mystery Science Theater 3000, namely Mary Jo Pehl, who played Pearl Forrester in the latter seasons of the original run of MST3K. She does a monthly show on Twitch, twitch.tv/The Mary Jo Pehl Show. Pehl is Pehl. And on that Twitch show, they're going to be doing a dramatic reenactment of the event where Tyler Granger allegedly stole a phone. So that is a weird thing that's happening. That
fuck it is, yeah.
It's
very fucking weird.
People who tune into our show may be interested, so I thought I'd mention it.
Interesting. I'm interested now. Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to. I think that's probably all we've got for today, right? You guys feel good about that? Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to close out with some local music. It's so local that it's actually my music.
Oh, God. Yeah, it sounds like a bunch of instruments flying on the back of a truck. It's his music. So.
Yeah. My friend David Clare and I are releasing a new album called Now and Forever on September 1st, this Friday. And so I'm going to end with a track from that. But if you are...
Shout out to David Clare.
Yeah, David, a friend of the show. He's been on Halloween episodes and stuff like that several times on our Patreon. If you are a local musician who is not me, you can go to our website, rockhardcock.us, and near the top there's a link to submit music. So I would love to play your music on the show. Not just mine, but you should get the Rock Hard Caucus bump as well from being featured on the show. So send us your music anytime. But that'll do it for today. Thank you for listening to Rock Hard Caucus. Thank you, as always, to my good friends, Evan and Chuck, for talking with me for a while.
Pleasure's all mine.
Yes, sir. Cheers.
Thank you.